All right, hello again. Back at the Physical Media Museum with Pat Benatar doing Fire and Ice. Very nice. And the B-side had Hard to Believe. Looks like we got the exact same shot there. A little bit more text, a little different heading, but the A side of the single, Fire and Ice, and the B side label, Hard to Believe. Alright, and those were off of her Precious Time album, of course, which was another really great one. She had at least 3 really strong ones right out the gate, and this one is also from the same album, Promises in the Dark. Very, very nice shot of Pat there. And the B-side, again, has the same picture of her, but a little more text, and showing all 3 of the first albums, In the Heat of the Night, Crimes of Passion, and Precious Time. And I do have a lot of Pat's 45s. The picture sleeves here, I think we've got 4. We had 1 at the end of episode 5, and we have 3 of them here to show you in this episode. Promises in the Dark being the A side, or side 1 if you prefer it that way, and the B side, Evil Genius. But yeah, I have a whole lot more, and I do believe I've shared a fair amount of them in previous videos already as well. And All Fired Up, I absolutely love that song. That's a really great song of Pat's that was a little more jammed up. She was getting a little poppy, a little more commercial at the time that she did this one, so I was really happy to hear this one because I always like the more rocked up stuff, of course. And yeah, that's printed at an angle, but I prefer to see it a little more straight. So I've got it tilted, but correct would be that right there. You want it aligned the way it is on the actual sleeve. But yeah, we've got the All Fired Up single version. So that's nice. We've got us a different version of it here. This is from Wide Awake in Dreamland. I don't know how long it was on that one, but it's noted as 4:00 something here. You can't see because the butterflies makes it hard to see. And the B side there being Cool Zero. So, yes, nice to have single versions. I like having the different edits and different cuts and stuff, especially if you've got the CDs like I do. I get the CD of the album. It's nice to have a slightly different version, even if sometimes it's completely murdered, like Detroit Rock City by Kiss. It just chopped all to pieces. But it's still fun to have a different mix or cut or version. The Cars here was Shake It Up, which was a good album, good strong return after Panorama, which I know that album has its fans, but none of the people I was hanging with at the time that it came out was impressed with it. We were all rather disappointed. I mean, The Cars and Candio was such great, awesome albums. And I read recently a little bit about Panorama and how they thought that it was a much harder album and more progressive form. I don't know. I just thought it was kind of weird. But Shake It Up did seem to be a return to form, and I liked it considerably more. There is something to be said for Panorama now. Going back and looking at it in hindsight, it is a much better album than what I remembered it being. It's still got some good songs on it. Touch and Go, Don't Give Me Some Slack. There are some good songs on there. The A side here being Shake It Up on the label, and the B side being Cruiser. And this isn't one of the cases where they've got a different B-side. A lot of Cars, 45s, singles do have different B-sides. Now here's one where I've got 2 copies of it. Of course I showed you the other one because it didn't have the price tag on there. And let's see if it's got the exact same. Okay, its label's the exact same. We're not going to have us a repeated the Jones Jet from episode 2 there, where I make myself look a little silly. And then This is the next one, Since You're Gone, which was a really great song off the Shake It Up album. We got the exact same picture, but a little bit different color scheme. Still laid out with the same logo and the text in the corners. So that's still kind of cool because it is still kind of different. And it's still got basically the same backing, but there again on a white background instead of a black one. So here we've got the A side, Since You're Gone, days are getting long. And on the B side, Think It Over, which again, those were all songs off of the album and nothing different about them there. And one more card. You might think we were done, but we got one more here for you. It's got a nice little group shot. Kind of odd how they offset it and threw it down there in the corner when this side's completely blank. But that's the way it's done. And the back side, of course, this is Heartbeat City. So this would have been the follow-up to Shake It Up. And it was a really good album as well. Had a lot of great songs on it. And this one still is not giving us anything that isn't on the album. So nothing different here from the album versions. But you might think on the A side label or the side 1, they got nice big number 2 and nice big number 1 for us on this one. But Heartbeat City there on the B side. So I'll show you that one more time if you didn't catch the one the first time that I had it up there. So now we're moving on, and we got a few hearts, and they are all from the much more poppy 80s, but nice great group shot there. And what about love? Don't you want someone to care about you? We'll make sure the guys get a little bit in focus there, because sometimes when we do they get a little blurry on the edges under that zoom lens. The B side here, not too impressive really, but it is kind of cool, the little heart logo there, I guess. And we've got the label for the A side, What About Love, and flipping it over for the B side, we've got Heart of Darkness. Heart doing Heart of Darkness. And they're again really nice, clean copies. Most of these, not all, most of these in this box. These are all collected from the previous boxes that I've done. Probably not counting the first 3 boxes because that was the first batch of picture sleeves predominantly. But the boxes that followed after that is where the bulk of these came from. These aren't all from one purchase. These are definitely, something that was accumulated from multiple collections. The picture sleeves take longer, and I think they're just kind of a different animal, so that's why I like to cull them out and do them separately. Now this seems to be about the same on both sides of that other sleeve, other than the text there at the bottom of the screen. But we've got a remix version here on the single, so I'm not sure exactly what's different, but it's clearly marked as never remixed by Heart. So that's kind of cool. Always, like I've been saying, I like to have different versions, and it's always nice to get something a little out of the ordinary. And we've got Shell Shock on the B side there. So next up, moving on from Heart, and we've got Survivor, High on You. And I liked a lot of what Survivor did. They did a lot of really good songs. Probably most well known for Eye of the Tiger from the Rocky soundtrack. But they did quite a few good songs. And, Survivor was kind of associated with, I think it was 38 Special, where the songwriting kind of crossed over, but I better not say that. I'm not real positive who it was. I'm getting a little bit confused here on that. But yeah, Survivor and their songwriter was writing songs for more than just them. Let's put it that way, okay? That I'm sure about. High on You being the A-side label there, and the B-side being a song called Everlasting, which seems to have a little stacker wear, which is surprising, especially from that date and age. Maybe it's just box wear from rubbing. But that's usually what you see from when people use stackers on their 45s and play them in sequence. White Lion here with Wait. Wait, I think everybody recognizes that song pretty well. Kind of interesting cover there with the lion's face just highlighting the facial features. On the back side, pretty plain white, but I guess that's because, you know, White Lion. And I was mixed emotions about White Lion. They had some good songs. I wasn't a huge fan, but they did do some good stuff, and they were definitely a hair band, really pushing the poppy elements of it. A side of the label there with Wait, and the B side of the label with Don't Give Up. And yeah, this is a good song to have on a 45. So now we're gonna end this one actually with a Journey. Who's Crying Now? Because I've definitely covered that one, I'm pretty sure, in a previous video, but not with the really cool artwork on the picture sleeve here, as it is. And the B-side's got a nice little group shot for us. The band on a white background. That looks pretty cool. Scoot it up just a little bit more and you can see the guys. And we'll get the labels in here for you real quick, with A side being Who's Crying Now, and the B side being Mother Father. So come on back for part 7. We'll see you then.